and welcome to the Nanyang Championships. We are in the quarterfinals now of the SEA Qualifiers, Southeast Asia Qualifiers. We have a current game going between MVP.Phoenix and Gigabyte.Mineski. We're just about to wrap up the draft here. MVP.Phoenix last picked the Leshrac, which I am very excited about.
5 seconds remaining.
I mentioned yesterday that I have seen a lot of the teams so far since 6.85 came out really shying away from Leshrac because he was nerfed. However, the nerfs really weren't too severe. It did probably knock him off the peg as being one of the most powerful laners in the game, if not the most. I certainly think it did that, but that was the intent, not to make him underpowered in the laning stage or the rest of the game, but simply to keep him from being the most desired mid laner. And I think they did a very good job of doing that. But he still is a very powerful hero, and so I'm glad to see him picked up here by I'm really not real familiar with Mineski. I know a couple of their players. I've seen them play before, but I don't know that I've ever actually watched their team play before. And even on their team, I think maybe I've seen Cuckoo and Ryo. How do you pronounce that name? I think I've seen the two of them play before. I'm really not familiar with the rest of them. We'll have to see what this last pick is here. I think they're still going to be looking for a mid laner. Silencer has not been a very popular mid laner lately, so I don't think that we will see him going into the middle lane. They're going down to the last second. Well, it looks like he may be. I don't know. We'll have to see. Spectre will more than likely be in the safe lane since he is pretty fragile hero in the early game. His only escape mechanism being the Spectral Dagger, and he has a rather slow movement speed, things like that. So I'm also excited to get to watch MVP.Phoenix play. I was fortunate enough to go to the International 5 a couple of months ago, and I got to watch MVP.Phoenix play there, and they did an awesome job. I think they were really doing well. They, of course, didn't win or anything like that, so that can be disappointing. But I think all in all, they did a great job. It was also fun to get to watch March at the International because he was really a very entertaining personality there. They had several interviews with him that were really fun to watch. And of course, the legendary March Scream. So if you haven't seen any highlights from the International, I would suggest you go watch those because you will get to see what I'm talking about. And it really was a lot of fun, and you'll get to at least get a glimpse into what that was like. Alright, here we go. We are back into the game. So we have March on the Doom off lane. Here, let me go ahead and introduce everybody. We have the Raging Potato on Spectre. Ryor. I know I am massacring that name. This guy on Darkseer. Jesse Vash on Silencer. Cuckoo on Phantom Lancer. And KACL on Dazzle. And then for MVP, we have March on the Doom. Febby on Winter Wyvern. QO on Leshrac. Heen on Lion. And Dagger on Queen of Pain. Ward was placed down here in the bottom lane in the Radiant jungle, but it was spotted out. So Dazzle quickly gets rid of that vision warrior.
30 seconds to battle.
So there's currently no vision up on the map right now, in the bottom half of the map, I should say, for Team MVP. They did get this ward placed up here at the top, so that'll be their most likely their remaining vision ward for these first few minutes. Looks like the top rune is going to go to QO. Dagger is going to go over to the safe lane, so they will not give him the rune. Typically, when they give that on the mid lane, so you get an early battle, as that is critical to being able to sustain yourself in the mid lane. So it looks like Phantom Lancer is going to be in the mid lane versus this Leshrac. He will more than likely need some support going into this, though, as even getting a bottle and being able to spam out the Spirit Lances, which do a good amount of damage, he will still have a somewhat difficult time sustaining in this lane versus Leshrac. Here on the top lane, we have Darkseer versus Lion and Queen of Pain. Darkseer does not have a surge, and he came forward. He is probably going to go down here. He already has the dagger on him from the Queen of Pain. He's ticking down pretty low. He's going to have to TP out here and hope they don't have any way to stop him. The Lion stun, though, is right on the mark. So first blood going to MVP. Good stuns there from the Lion. We have Doom coming over here into the Mineski jungle. Just gonna take one of the creeps. Put a harass coming out of the mid lane. Kyo's getting pretty low, though he has to be careful here. There wasn't anything more to follow up. Great Lance had already been used. The Dazzle had already used the heal too. Oh. The splitter at the temp there from Kyo wouldn't have likely gotten the kill on Dazzle, but it would have gotten him very, very low, if not gotten the kill. Low enough that he would have to be very careful and kind of fall back and take some time to regen, maybe ferry out something else. Just getting what he can in this lane. Right now the Spectre is farming quite well. He's 10 and 6. He's vying for the #1 position with this Phantom Lancer right now. Darkseer is level 2, so he does have a sprint. He should be relatively safe now in this lane. Split Earth misses on the Phantom Lancer, so he will be safe for the moment. We do have a rotation coming out of Winter Wyvern. Of course, with the Arctic Burn, Winter Wyvern can fly right over this cliff, make an attempt on middle lane, but they have to wait until Doppelganger is down before they do any of that. So on these aggressive plays here by Cuckoo, they can go immediately after that and attempt to get the kill. Of course, with the Dazzle here protecting him, they likely will not make that happen because Shallow Grave will keep him alive and they don't have anything to do with that aggression. So right now, Mineski is doing a great job of farming. Spectre is #1 in net worth. Phantom Lancer just a little bit behind him. Queen of Pain is doing alright up in the top lane as well. Queen of Pain surprisingly doesn't have more net worth though than the Spectre. She was already part of an early kill, so it means that she did miss some last hits in the early game. It's getting a bit low. He does have the bottle coming back out to him. There it is. So that will help him out. The bottle did get nerfed in 6.85. The health regen on it was... Oh, he's going forward with this Doppelganger. He should be able to... Oh my goodness, what just happened? Camera just swapped over to someone else. But Kyo barely survived that. So impressive play there. And Kyo is now going to have this invisibility rune bottled. See if he can make anything happen from that. Don't know that he's really going to be able to. This bottle is being ferried back to the fountain by Phantom Lancer. Right now, this top lane has just been left completely open.
That is not yours.
So MVP are just going to have their way with the top lane for the moment. Kyo wants to bait out the Doppelganger on Phantom Lancer. Then he will be able to pop the Invis, get an extra bottle charge going to regen a little bit while the Winter Wyvern goes in. Winter Wyvern now is backed off just a little bit. Now the Doppelganger is used, but there isn't any kind of follow-up. Winter Wyvern is just getting stacks up in the jungle. They already have 1 stack on this large camp, and they're about to get a second. So that'll be three spawns on that large camp. Phantom Lancer's trying to go on this, but QO does have the invisibility rune. He should be fine. You're invisible. He goes ahead and... Oh, they get the stun anyway. I'm a bit surprised he stood right there. And... Oh, the heal bomb is too much.
safe.
Leshrac goes down to the Phantom Lancer and the Dazzle in middle lane. He didn't realize how close Dazzle was. They don't have any vision. Well, they do have this ward here, but... Let's go ahead.
Wave.
Dazzle was down in this area. So this ward does not give him vision, obviously, down right here, so...
Almighty money.
Wait, what am I saying? This is a Radiant ward. Ignore me. Anyway, the Leshrac did not have the vision of the Dazzle, so he didn't realize how close he was, and they thought he could run up to the high ground, get the quick kill on the Phantom Lancer, and fall back, but Dazzle was just a little bit too close. March only has 4 last hits, and that includes his being able to devour. There he gets his 5th. So March is not having a great time. Spectre, however, is doing fantastically. Top of the net worth charts right now. So Spectre is going to become a beast very early. Anytime Spectre gets a great start like this, I mean, he still has to get expensive items generally before he can become a real force to be reckoned with. He's going to go for the, surprisingly enough. But still, PL really wants to come in on the Winter Wyvern, but the Arctic Burn was up. And now the Queen of Pain comes in and makes short work of Phantom Lancer. We also have Doom rotating over to try and finish off the Dazzle. Spectre uses his ultimate, but I don't know what he's going to be able to get done. March gets the kill on Dazzle, and now they're looking for Potato. One more hit. The active burn from March's stolen ability is enough to finish off Spectre. Great fight by MVP. They lose no one and pick up 3 kills. So that really turns this game around for them. They were falling behind quite a bit in the farm game. Spectre was number 1, PL was number 2. Well, PL kept trading places with Queen of Pain for number 2 spot, but now Queen of Pain has the number 1 position by a fair margin. And any way they can set back the Spectre, they'll be more than happy to do. There we go. The Mineski team fight is going to be quite scary once they get a few levels. So we'll put Lion very low, and he times the doppelganger correctly, gets the easy kill.
Dire's middle tower is under attack. Radiant's top tower is under
Who
attack.
does not have doppelganger. Quap knows it, but he just doesn't have quite enough damage yet. If he had a bit more mana, he would have been able to commit on that, get the kill on Phantom Lancer. Harass coming out with this haste rune. He won't ever be able to get that
Radiant's
kill,
top
but
tower is under attack.
he can burn a little bit of the health off, force him to use some regen. He does have Tranquil Boots, so honestly it isn't going to force him to do anything.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Phantom Lancer plus Dazzle is crazy damage. We have a little bit of an engagement here on the bottom lane, but I think everyone from Mineski should be able to get out. Yeah. The Lion's stun range just isn't quite long enough for him to catch that silencer there. Everyone will go right back to farming. Spectre's going to have to be a little bit careful down here as he doesn't have any backup yet. If they get the Doom plus the Lion stun into the Hex, he'll go down relatively quickly. We have some damage, or fight going down in the middle lane, but the blink out from Quap.
Dire's top tower is
disengage.
under attack.
Both teams are going to be very difficult to
Radiant's
lock
bottom
down
tower is
and
under
kill
attack.
without spells
Dire's
like the
top
Wyvern
tower
ultimate,
is under attack.
Doom, stun locks coming out of the Lion, things like that.
Dire's top tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Once Mineski gets the global silence up on Silencer, I believe they will probably look to make something happen with
Radiant's
that early
bottom
on.
tower has fallen.
Because Phantom Lancer is
Dire's
doing good
top
on his
tower
farm.
is under attack.
Spectre is doing fine with his farm. And of course they have the global ultimate from Spectre as well. So I think once this Silencer hits level 6, Mineski will be looking to force a fight. Mineski's putting some aggression on this top lane. Looks like they were on different pages there. They were hoping to force a fight on March. We saw the last word come out from Silencer, and Darkseer cast the Surge on this Spectre, but Spectre chose to just continue attacking the tower, which was probably the smart move. They just weren't all thinking the same things here. Lion is waiting to see if he can set up any kind of stun. He has a fair amount of lockdown with 3 points in the stun, 1 point in the hex. It's about 4 seconds of lockdown. Both teams choose not to fight this. Leshrac doesn't have any sort of items yet. Spectre's gonna go on this Leshrac. He has the Darkseer Ion Shell on him, so he should be able to secure this kill. Leshrac gets off the Diabolic Edict just to get a little bit of damage when he's diving in. However, I think the cast point on that was long enough that it actually made the Darkseer take less damage than he would have just diving from tower shots. MVP did get an early lead in towers as they were able to get that bottom tier 1. So that is going to help them out. It'll open up this Mineski jungle just a little bit and allow their invasions to be a little more effective. UL right now still doesn't have any real farm. He didn't have a good time here in the middle lane and had to give the lane up actually. Just weren't able to get any good timings on forcing out the Doppelganger into a then split earth with rotations from Febby. There are some questions about whether or not Febby might be streaming. He forgot to turn it off. Alright, so they're getting Febby to turn his stream off. He apologizes. He said he just forgot. And we resume the game without any personal streaming from the players.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
We do have a lot of stacks up here in the jungle. They had a 3 stack up on this large camp, 2 stack on this medium camp, and I've got another 2 stack down here. So this is really going to help Leshrac get back into this game. No stacks on the Ancients, but they don't really have anyone on their team who's good at clearing Ancients, so that is not really to be expected. Mineski's making a little bit of a push on the top lane. They do have 3 up here. And then, of course, they have the global from Leshrac, so it could very quickly be 4 if MVP choose to fight this. Smoke is broken on the Lion and the Doom. They weren't close enough to actually make anything happen, so they will just back out. Phantom Lancer uses the Doppelganger just to try and bait out any kind of spells on his illusion, but MVP are not falling for it. This top tower is quite low, so any kind of push right here, this should go down immediately. Yes. Diabolic Edict is more than enough. Interestingly enough, we see the lightning foregone completely on this Leshrac. We have a couple of spells used over here on the Phantom Lancer. Lion wants to get his ultimate off, but he is silenced for too long. Didn't even get that ult. And Queen of Pain is taking a lot of damage. We had the Doom used on the Darkseer, so he's not going to be able to keep people surged. Throw more ion shells up. There's a lot of damage. Great Quap ult. Hits 3. They wipe Team Mineski off the map. Fantastic fight there by MVP. They didn't even get the Lion ult, and they still had a 5-for-2 trade. Queen of Pain had to disengage early on due to the global silence and the damage that was coming out on her. But then she was able to come right back in after they got some great setup from the Doom and the Winter Wyvern. Big fight.
Radiant's middle tower is under
We now
attack.
have over a 3,000 gold lead for MVP. Check that. 4,000 now that the graphs have updated from that last fight. And getting up to around 4,000 in experience. MVP definitely needed this. The Leshrac was behind. Dagger was doing fine on his Quap, but he's not going to be able to carry this game. They need a good answer to Phantom Lancer and Spectre. And that's only going to come with Leshrac and Queen of Pain snowballing and the Doom getting some items so he can blink initiate with his Doom. He's really going to need to be able to blink this game or get a Shadow Blade perhaps, but I think the blink is a little bit superior. And then he will also need a refresher. If they don't have plenty of items on Leshrac, Doom, and Queen of Pain, they will quickly lose this game regardless of how far they push, unless they can take down at least 2 lanes of Rax somewhat early. Really cut down the farm on those carries. But Spectre and Phantom Lancer are both very strong carries. And so the QO and Dagger really are not great heroes versus the Phantom Lancer and the Spectre in general. But if they can get ahead in items, they will just blow them away. The AoE damage from Leshrac is good at dealing with PL illusions if
Dire's structures
we've
are
got March
fortified.
sitting in here. See if they can get a kill on. He's just gonna hide out while they push this mid or the mid tier 1,
Has fallen.
so that when the heroes from Mineski respawn, he'll be able to walk up and Doom. But he was spotted out by the
Radiant
Spectre ult, so
structures are fortified.
that little
Radiant's middle tower
backstab
is
plan
under
is now
attack.
gone.
Radiant's middle tower
So March
has
now
fallen.
knows where the real Phantom Lancer is. He's saving his Doom. See what happens here. They don't want to engage though. Leshrac has no mana. So MVP need to just back out of this. They are not in good shape to fight right now. And they do. They have great single target burst coming out of Lion, and if they can figure out which Phantom Lancer is the real one going into these fights, get a good Doom off, they can quickly kill the right Phantom Lancer. He's going to be a major problem in this game. Later on, Spectre will become a problem, but right now he's really not a big issue. You've got a smoke coming out from March and Keen. They catch Silencer. Go ahead and commit the Doom. It's only a 1.5-minute cooldown, and with that smoke gank, after that, they're basically just going to go back and farm anyway, because they really need to get some items up on Leshrac. So, good pick up there from MVP. On the other side of this, Mineski just needs to stall. Really, they're not in a bad shape at all. They have the stronger late game by a lot. So they just need to drag this game out until that point. It really doesn't matter that if they lose these outer towers. Of course they want to stall it as much as possible just to starve MVP a little bit. But if they lose them, it won't be that big of a deal. As long as they aren't losing Rax. So until that happens, they simply just need to stall. Duo Fabian putting a little pressure on this Phantom Lancer. They want to make him feel uncomfortable about farming. Doppelganger is on, so he gets away from that split earth. MVP don't want to take a big fight until Doom is back up, which is up in 14 seconds. They can basically go ahead and start pushing this lane, start baiting
Radiant's
heroes
top
out.
tower is under attack.
He has to be careful about burning all of his mana before this fight starts. getting a little harass on this Spectre. If he is low health, he will not be able to come into this next fight that's about to break out with his ultimate. He may throw down his ult for a little bit of extra damage. Feels so inclined. But generally, we would probably see him just disengaging. Until he completes Radiance, he doesn't have a lot here with his ultimate. They wrap around to try and find Spectre, but they aren't able to get him. The illusions do not benefit from the flat bonus damage of the Sacred Relic. They benefit from base damage and from stats. So his illusions really don't do a whole lot of damage right now, other than the fact that they still gain his ability, or passive ability.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
So MVP secures that top tier 2. They still have the Doom. And it did force Spectre back. Phantom Lancer does have the Diffusal Blade now. We have the Yules picked up on Queen of Pain. I've seen this several times now. I got the Doom committed on Spectre. So they're going to go into this global ult, or global silence is used to try and make space for him, but Queen of Pain comes in, gets the kill. Queen of Pain is coming down here to put a little bit of harassment on Phantom Lancer, but he does have the Diffusal Blade, so she has to be careful about blinking forward aggressively. She gets a couple of illusions out. He can quickly burn through her mana pool, and she's stuck standing there.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
I have seen this Yule's built several times recently on the Queen of Pain. The last time I saw it, I was very much against that item. I don't think it benefited her really at all in the game. I still don't know, other than it purging the global silence, what the point is. But even just that alone is going to, of course, be very important for the Queen of Pain. However, I feel like using a BKB instead would be a better usage of the spell, or of items. I mean, better usage. The BKB would prevent things like vacuum, a lot of the damage coming out of these other heroes. For instance, the Radiance that you know is going to be on Spectre, Spirit Lance from the Phantom Lancer. So. But I don't know. Perhaps the extra regen, intelligence, those sorts of things that are on Yule's Scepter are just valued a little bit more highly. We have Glimmer Cape up on Febby. And of course this Aegis now on Leshrac. We do have Blink coming out, or Blink already out on Doom. The Scepter is coming out as well. He has the Point Booster Ogre Club and the Staff of Wizardry, so he is a couple hundred gold away from completing this Scepter. Scepter is going to be another big item for him. I think after that we will probably see possibly maybe a Shiva's Guard or something to help him out with his armor, because he is very poor on armor. Right now he only has 6, and this Scepter isn't going to help that very much. I think it gives a little over 1 armor, about 1.5 armor. So he'll be up to about 7.5 armor, but he will die very quickly to the Spectre and Phantom Lancer if they go on him engagements. So we may want to see a Shiva's out on him to help his mana pool and armor, but I think after the perhaps Shiva's, we will definitely see a refresher. MVP don't want to drag this game out real late, but they have to have a good answer going into these fights. Phantom Lancer and the Spectre.
Radiant's middle tower is under
Here we go. We've got popped up from QO. Doom will be committed, I think. Global Silence comes out, so they cannot get the Doom off on Raging Potato. Leshrac is still doing a lot of damage to him with this Pulse Nova. Shallow Grave comes out. QO is getting so low, but he still has the Aegis. Survives for a moment. He does finally go down, though. So Febby survives on a sliver of health. QO is back up here. March blinks out. He still has the Doom. If he can find out which Phantom Lancer is the real one, they may go ahead and commit this Doom. They've got the Scream from the Queen of Pain. Lots of damage coming out. And here we go. And Phantom Lancer will go down as well. Another fantastic fight by MVP. Flawless execution. They survive and lose no one, wiping 5 from Mineski.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
That was a very, very close fight. QO survives with a sliver more than once. Same with March, and Dagger even now has 300 HP.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
They were not able to get any of these structures down, but they did get a fair amount of damage on the tier 3. They burned the fortification, and perhaps even more importantly for the moment, they bought a lot of time and set Phantom Lancer and Spectre way back. We can see the net worth here. Queen of Pain is getting close to being double the net worth of the Spectre. Doom has over 10% more net worth than Phantom Lancer. So things are definitely going the right way for MVP. Again, if Mineski can just stall this game out long enough, it won't matter. He's got the Queen of Pain used, the Lion ult. He does have the Shallow Grave, and that will probably save him. It's going to be up to the timing on the heal. Yeah, there'll be another heal, so good timing there from Dazzle. It almost looked like he was going to be late. It came at the last moment, right before the damage ticked from the Shadow Strike of Queen of Pain. There we go. They've got the Doom out on Phantom Lancer. They caught the real one. They were just waiting around with this invisibility on Queen of Pain, waiting to see which Phantom Lancer was the real one. And the Queen of Pain ult is used to kill the courier. 1100 worth on that courier. Right now, everything is going MVP's way.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
They've been making a lot of great team plays. Good coordination, and this draft is really working for them. A bit unconventional, but they're really making this work.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen. Radiant's top tower is under attack. Radiant's top tower
Diabolic
has fallen.
Edict from QO. Make short work of that tower. Getting good damage on the racks, but they have to be careful. QO put himself a little bit too close there for the heal bomb. Queen of Pain has the scepter, so she's just using the ultimate to harass. It's on a very low cooldown. Spectre's ult comes out. He wants to go on QO. He does. But he backs off. With the Lion nearby, that was a bit more than he could chew. We have Blink on Lion, but he still doesn't have any items like a bracer or anything like that. So his max HP pool is still only at 850. Right now, he is basically a one-shot kill for just about everybody on the side of Mineski. Well, all the cores. Think away from Doom will save him. There we go. We have a Glimmer Cape now on Lion. That will help his survivability quite a bit here. And the Glimmer Cape, of course, out on Febby for a while now. He does have his Blink as well. We have a Blink now on QO. There's a lot of mobility on the side of MVP. Ryor has the mechanism. Spectre still doesn't have anything more than Radiance right now. Quite a ways away from its next item as well. Looks like he may be going for the Blade now.
Radiant's top barracks has fallen.
Blade Mill will really serve him well in this game too. He already has a good amount of damage reflection from his reflection. The Split Earth is on the Spectre, but he gets the Shallow Grave, so he'll survive at least for the moment. Phantom Lancer's going deep up here. He really wanted to finish off Febby and get out, but I don't know what he was thinking. I guess he figured that with the global silence committed, that his team was all in, but there was some miscommunication there.
Radiant's top barracks are under
So
attack.
this top Rax is going to go down. With Phantom Lancer, Mineski cannot fight. Is their only hope at the moment. Spectre just doesn't have enough damage to do much. Once he finishes up the Blade Mail, he will be able to run in there, tank up. We've got Doom out on Spectre. The Wyvern ult is committed on Dazzle to ensure that there is no shallow grave and a 5-man wipe. That is GG.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Great gameplay by MVP. Mineski was doing alright too. They just couldn't quite stop this good coordination on the side of MVP. So that is game 1 going the way of MVP. This is a best of 3. So we will move on to game 2. Stay tuned.